Hey y'all, hey, I'm back with another video. So today we're doing something that I be doing on and off, and it's what the fuck are we talking about, where I just kind of do a whole bunch of little topics that's happened, over the last couple of weeks. So let's just kind of get into it. Okay, so if you guys, I don't know if anybody noticed real fast, but I did put up a video like earlier this week with my man and him like reacting to the Young Thug phone calls, but it got yanked for whatever reason. So I'm gonna fix that and then put that back up. But let's talk about the Young Thug phone calls, okay? So over the last, I would say about the last week and some change, there's been a lot of phone calls from jail. That was recorded between, Young Thug and whoever it is that he was talking to. And it feels like they just been kind of dropping, like, I don't even know. They just been dropping like new singles or some shit like that. And before we even get into the content of these jail calls, is nobody concerned? Like, I'm trying to understand. I want to know. I have yet to hear anything from Atlanta PD or anybody from Atlanta addressing why is recorded jail phone calls dropping like this, because it's illegal. Like, whoever is doing this, it's very much so illegal, but it doesn't feel like the police or anybody is trying to do anything to stop these calls from leaking, which gives me that y'all are definitely in cahoots. I don't hear nothing about it. But again, let me tell you, because we're going to talk about the Jussie Smollett. I'm probably going to do a separate video on that, but I'm going to do a video on the Jussie Smollett doc. And let me tell you something. Either way, you piss these people off, they going to get you. If it's not on the front end, it's on the back end. And I feel like that's what's happening right now. The peoples of Atlanta was pissed that they could not get him on that RICO charge. So we're just going to tarnish your image as much as possible. So a few things that was talked about on these phone calls. First of all, I want to say this. When people are like, oh my gosh, Thug was such a chatty patty, da 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 da. Okay, yes, I do think that there's certain things that he talked about on the phone calls that he shouldn't have. But maybe y'all don't, so let me say this. As someone who knows people that are in jail and communicate with them, that's what those niggas do. They don't have anything else to do. Now, I know people are like, oh, go read a book, go read this, go read that. I don't know if y'all really pay attention to the jail system, but they're yanking all type of programs from these jails. There ain't a lot of jail or facilities that have, like programs for you to do this, for you to do that. And on top of that, Thug is good. I'm pretty sure Thug don't need nothing on his commissary. That nigga is sitting pretty. So what else do he got to do but to talk on the phone? And I'm saying all that to say is that this is not specific to Thug things. Niggas in jail be gossiping on the phone because they don't got nothing else to do. They want to ask what's going on with this. They want to tell you what they heard this person say about that person that was on the outside. That's what these niggas do. So nothing about like him, like, I guess people call like gossiping over the phone. None of that's surprising to me, because if you know people in jail, a lot of them really are. That's what they do. It's just that we know everybody that he's talking about. But trust me, niggas in jail run their mouth. That is the only difference, is that we just know these people. So it's not really that big of a deal, in my opinion, from that standpoint, right? But the first thing that had came out was these conversations between 21 Savage and Thug on the phone, right? And they're talking about Gunna or whatever. Now, within this conversation, which is what I had, like, the video I had put up of, like, my man reacting to that phone call. But the conversation was pretty much, like, Thug saying that he really felt some type of way about the fact that Gunna said, like, yes, YSL is a gang. And how how Gunna doing that pretty much kind of, like, gave them ammunition to keep going down the road of a RICO, and how Gunna really didn't have to say anything at all. 21 Savage was saying, at first he was saying, like, he didn't think that Gunna did it, like, intentionally, like, to be, like, to try to do something against him. But then, like, when Thug went on to continue to say what he said, he was like, oh, no, fuck that nigga. But 21's thing to Young Thug was, I think that you should tell the public that either A, you don't care that he did that, or B, you told him to do that so that he's seen as solid within the eyes of the public. Because if you get out, now at this time, it's not true now, but at that time, that's very much so true. A lot of people online was like, bruh, we're not fucking with Gunna until we hear what Thug has to say. So what 21 was saying was that man's hands, like, career is in your hands. If you come out and you say you fucking with him, he'll be good. But if you come out and you say fuck him, then, you know, it's kind of up. But because Gunna is signed to Thug, 21 is pretty much saying it might not, like, behoove you from a financial standpoint to say fuck this man. So the whole point of that conversation was like business versus streets. Like, yes, he's a rat, but he's signed to you and you make your bread off of him. And as much as people were saying fuck Gunna got out of jail and he's been, like, you know, performing, you know, like, very well. Now granted, I don't listen to Gunna, but I never really did, so it's not really much for me to say. So it's now been this, it seems like there is now this shift. It seems like for people are more on, like, Gunna's side than Thug's side. But more, this is the most important thing I want everybody to understand. 98% of the people that are online typing away about Thug is a snitch and Thug is this and Thug is a that. I'm pretty sure y'all see these memes online. It's some white little boy, white teenage white boy. It's some person who has never been in jail, never been in the streets, that they are not part of that at all. So I don't really even pay attention to the online because these are people that are not involved in that lifestyle at all. If you want to listen to his music, just go ahead and listen to his music, and it is what it is. Like, it's just really just that simple to me. Regardless, like I said, I don't care because I don't listen to Gunna's music. Didn't before he went to jail. Don't now. The only thing I really be liking about Gunna is I like when Gunna and Offset work together because what is that song? Not the one that they just did, but that first collab that they did. That's my shit. I work out to that song all the time. I like when them two do songs together. So I think it's called Species, that song that they got out now. I like that song. But you know, now there's this whole thing also, people talking about, like, where Thug is within his career. I'm gonna just be real. I don't know why. I don't know why we're doing this. Thug musically has not been relevant in almost 10 years. I want to make sure that I'm right, because the last Thug, let me see, that Thug and Chris Brown album that they did, right, was that was 2020, right? So Slime and B, that's 2020. That is the last time, and I know he ended up going to jail a little bit after that and the pandemic happened, but I'm really thinking about it. Even when that album came out, damn, I can't believe that was 2020. Even when that album came out, Thug was already, like, on the tail end of not, like, really being in the best place musically, like, if that makes sense. Like, I don't understand why people are... Thug has not been consistent with putting out good music for at least over 5 years at this point. I know, like, 2 of those he was locked up. Then we also have to put in COVID on top of that, so you might as well just take another 2 years away from that. But the point of the matter is that, to me, Young Thug hasn't really been musically, like, providing us something musically that we give a fuck about. Actually, what's Pushin P? I think Pushin P is the last, like, huge song, which is with him and Gunna. Okay, 2022, that's 3 years ago, and mind you, that's with Gunna. Okay, I don't think that Thug has been at his peak, like I said, in almost 5 fucking years. Thug hasn't really given me anything to hold on to, but also I'm not a huge Thug fan, so, like, I don't care is the point. Okay? Then yesterday, another little tidbit dropped, and it was about him pretty much. He was on the phone with Mariah. Now, Mariah the scientist, she be killing me on these calls because she is one of them girls from, like, Love After Lockup, how they be on the phone. I imagine that's how them girls are. But he was talking to her and pretty much talking about, like, how he thought, like, Glorilla was, like, ugly or something like that. And so Glorilla comes out and tweets and was like, not the same person, you know, that was like in my DMs, like asking certain things, and then Thug came out and apologized. People are dragging Mariah because they feel like, why would you sit there and like let him talk bad about another woman, like, and not check him or whatever, and like that's messy and da 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 da. Okay, back to what I said at the beginning. Now, personally, unless we're talking about like somebody that we know, you know what I mean? Like, no, actually, no, I take all of that back. The thing about the internet that kills me is y'all really try to make it seem like y'all so high and above and mighty. If you and again, I'm not saying that what he said is right, but I'm just like let's talk in fucking reality of the situation. If you are sitting there with your man, whether it's on the phone or sitting next to him or whatever, and he brings up let's just say he bring up some girl that he worked with named Tasha, and he talk about how Tasha got on his damn nerves that damn day at work because she was doing this, she was doing that, and he don't even know why she be saying anything because her hair be looking all messed up and her shoes be all funky and da da da. You as the girlfriend and as a woman ain't about to turn to him and say, why are you talking so badly about another woman? Like, I need all of y'all to get off your high horse. That is not real life. I'm not saying that Thug was right. I want to be clear. I'm not saying that he was right in what he said. What I'm saying is that all you bitches are full of shit to sit up to be trying to judge Mariah to say, oh, why didn't you stop him? He's talking about another woman. Bitch, if your man came home or was on the phone talking to you about a woman that he worked with that got on his nerve for whatever reason, and he started to drag that woman, and when I mean drag her, not necessarily like going super hard, but just saying, I don't know why the fuck you, oh, babe, how was your day today? Babe, let me tell you about Tasha. Tasha got on my damn nerves. Oh my gosh. Tasha did this, Tasha did that, and Tasha get on my daggone nerves. Tasha needs to be worried about going getting her hair done. As the girl, you're going to be like, oh, good Lord, babe. Oh my gosh, babe. Oh my gosh. Or maybe you probably might even chuckle, but you're not going to you're not going to check your man and be like, hold on, that's a woman you're talking about. Why are you talking to me badly about another bitch? Like, get off y'all high horses. Y'all are not doing that. Y'all are going to handle it the same way that she did. Again, not saying that it's right, but please get off y'all high horses. Like y'all really going to check y'all man for saying something about another woman. 9 times out of 10, most of you hoes are going to jump in. What are you talking about? Get off y'all high horse. Y'all, they really killed me with that conversation yesterday. Again, he's fucked up for saying that about Glow, especially because what the fuck did she do to you? And especially because you're in her inbox. And what I will say, facts is, if my man calls me, right, and outside of him saying, oh, well, Tasha got on my nerves, da 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 da, if he's just randomly coming out of nowhere, if we're just eating dinner and then just randomly comes up and be like, that bitch Tasha is really ugly as hell, and da 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 da, and she just da da da, yeah, then my eyebrows gonna go up because I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be like, you know how like the little boy in the playground when he likes a little girl, he keeps hitting her and hitting her and hitting her even though he likes her. That's what it's gonna give, and that's what Thug was giving. Thug was giving, you mad because maybe she swerved you or something like that, which is what she pretty much alluded to. But the idea of, oh, you're a woman and you let a man talk bad to you about another woman. What Cam say? Niggas get shot every day, B. Who the fuck cares? Moving on. Let's talk about Cardi. Cardi. Bodega. Wait, what is it? Bodega. Party. Okay, shout out to Cardi. So, a lot of things going on with Cardi. Cardi's album is coming out. Today is the 6th. So Cardi album comes out September 19th. I'm trying to think. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all think I should do like a reaction to that. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna get my OBS popping to see if I can like have that be like the first real reaction that I do now that I'm finally set up in a good spot. I'm waiting for my green screen to come. It's gonna be up and it's gonna be stuck, y'all. But she has the album coming out, and so with the album coming out, the rollout has been rolling out, okay? So I think it's amazing. I think it's hilarious. How the hell is your trial part of your rollout? Like, it kills me. So Cardi just got done, you know, with a trial, you know, where a security guard claimed that like she scratched her in her face or whatever because the security guard was filming Cardi as she was leaving like the doctor's office for an appointment. That lady lost because that attorney was terrible. terrible fight. Never again. But I guess they're gonna appeal and try, but I don't see them winning that shit. That was bullshit. But it's been the fact that the name of her album is Am I the Drama, and then literally within the rollout of your album, like 2 to 3 weeks before, you're in a, like, you're going through court cases, you're giving us memes, because the whole, did you think that, like, why did you say that she was big? And she was like, classic, new meme alert. I love that they took like little pictures and like things from the court case and put it like on her album. I think that's amazing marketing, amazing rollout. So we have that. Now, there's been a lot of speculation around whether or not Cardi is pregnant, right? Throughout this trial, we've seen her in a lot of different outfits, and it seems very much so as if she is indeed pregnant. Offset has also commented on things, TikToks and Instagrams, when people are like talking about it. He's like, oh, well, it's not mine. It's not mine. However, after her trial and she, came out and she won, she did her little speech. And then Cardi puts out this TikTok. Now, this outfit, like, she had a jacket, right? But you could still clearly see like her stomach when she was walking. Now, in this TikTok, she takes off her jacket. And when she takes off her jacket, you can clearly tell that there was like something here. Don't know if it was padding. Some people think maybe it's like a fake belly, but it's clear that she wanted people to see that whatever was right there like wasn't like real. So now the question is, has Cardi been walking around wearing a fake belly to this trial, or is that padding to cover the fact that she's really pregnant? But in general, people are speculating again about whether or not Cardi's pregnant, and now it's this whole thing of, oh, Cardi is so desperate that she's faking a pregnancy to roll out her album. Now, this is how I feel about that, right? Because I feel a lot of ways about this. First of all, let me start here. I was one of the people who was like, I wonder, is Cardi pregnant? Is she not? And da-da-da. And I was in the beginning like very invested, and I had to stop and think about it. Who the fuck cares? Like, Cardi being pregnant for me does nothing for me. Like, it don't matter either way, because it's not my vagina. It's not any kid that I have to raise. And either way, I'm going to listen to that album when it drops. Cardi could come out today and say she's not pregnant. She could come out the day before her album and say she is. She could come out in between and say, I'm not sure. Bitch, I'm still gonna listen to the album. So one thing I will say about this thing is, if that thing that she, that she clearly wanted us to see was like a fake belly, then I'm not necessarily mad at it, because Cardi has not said one word about her being pregnant. Not one. She has not said one word about her being pregnant. All of this speculation has come from the internet and people just looking at her and making assumptions about things. That's what all of this has come from, not from anything she has said. So what I'm thinking is, if it is a fake belly, what I'm thinking is that Cardi might have been like, oh, I just had like some Chipotle and now you niggas want to talk about whether or not I'm pregnant. You want to know what? Let me now really play into whether or not y'all think that I'm pregnant, because y'all was doing it anyway. Because that's the thing. I feel as if this is like a fake thing, I think it might have been where it's like, bruh, I'm not pregnant, and she probably wasn't really wearing like, no type of thing. And it's like, if y'all are already talking about it, fuck it, I'm gonna just play into it. And I will say, if it is a fake belly, that's what the fuck everybody get. I'm not mad at that, because it's like, mind your fucking business. This is my thing. If Cardi really isn't pregnant, back to mind your fucking business. Mind your business. Her being pregnant has no bearing on anybody. Like, it really doesn't. And I'm not going to call out this person in particular, but there's somebody that I listen to that does a podcast, and I'm normally always on her side. But she went on this whole long rant about, oh, Cardi, you're playing around. Stop playing with me and whether or not you're pregnant. Like, Cardi, if you're pregnant, and I'm listening to her, and I'm like, you mean taking you on an emotional roller coaster? How does her being pregnant affect you? I'm genuinely trying to understand how Cardi, whether she's pregnant or not, affects you when you say you're taking me on an emotional roller coaster. It's not the same thing like Tamar, who may have lied about actually being hurt. Tamar came out of her mouth and said that she was hurt. Cardi didn't say anything. You niggas walked around and speculated, including me, just by looking at her, that we thought that she was pregnant. So again, I feel like if it is a fake belly, I feel like it was one of those things where it was like a rumor that like had been already percolating, and then she said, fuck it. Y'all think I'm pregnant? I'm gonna just jump on with y'all, and now we gonna play the game since y'all wanna play with me. Also, yesterday, clearly, I saw this morning waking up that Cardi went the fuck off yet again on Joe Budden. Went off. Now, I will correct her on a few things that she said. She did say, like, you don't ever talk about any of the other rap girls, which I will say he does. But you're clearly like one of the biggest, so it may come off like that. And you're probably not listening to I'm pretty sure what it is with Cardi is that Cardi is not listening to the Joe Budden podcast. She ain't doing that shit. She's listening to the clips that people are sending her. So yes, it's gonna come off as if he's only talking about her. So I will say he's not only talking about you. I already did like a 20-minute video on this, like I think a year or two ago when she went off on him. But to reiterate, yes, I do think that Joe is way more critical on Cardi than he is other people. I've already made this very clear. I think it's very obvious that Nicki gets a certain grace as far as the topics and things that he'll say and things that he won't say compared to a Cardi. I think that's pretty obvious at this point. Like I always use the Bigfoot incident as an example. That this was trash, and you sat up there and said that you were gonna lie and wasn't honest about that. But like Cardi said, I put out imaginary players, and you sit here and you drag me for filth. So my problem with Joe talking about Cardi is that there's no balance. That's my only issue. My only issue is that you only have smoke for certain people, and it's not balanced across the board. So, for example, Cardi was upset because she was like, Joe was talking about how I'm struggling and none of my singles is hitting and this, that, and the third, da-da-da-da, which, correct, he did say that. Just using, Nicki again as my example. For years, Nicki has been trying to put out singles that was not sticking, and he never really criticized her for that. The only song that popped off of that last album was Fuck the Club Up. That's the only song that did anything, that moved any units. I mean, outside of Super Freaky Girl, but that was before that. But Fuck the Club Up was the only song that worked off of that album, but Joe didn't come in there and talk about how that was the only single that worked and everything else that Nicki tried after that fell completely off of the charts. So I agree with Cardi in the sense of there is a difference. It seems like he's way more critical on her. And her biggest problem with him, which is what she said before. So the last time she went off of him, she said, stop talking about my marriage. And I said to that, well, Cardi, you put your marriage on the silver platter for people to talk about. But her biggest problem this time is stop talking about who I'm fucking. Stop talking about whether or not I'm pregnant and who the father of my child is. I do think that that's a little nasty. You know what I mean? I think it's even weird to speculate whether or not a woman is pregnant. Even though I just said that I did it. That's why I said I really had to think about it. And I'm wrong for doing that because as somebody that struggled to get pregnant, nah, that shit's not cool. We're not going to walk around speculating about whether or not a woman is pregnant. I don't think that it's cool to do. But even outside of that, like she said, to try to speculate who the father of her child is, it's one thing to say, okay, she looks clearly pregnant to me. It's another thing to go into insinuating about who the father of her child is. That's nasty work. That's nasty. Yeah, I think that's extremely nasty work. So I'm not mad at her at all. Also, to pivot real fast off of the Joe Budden thing, Mel Ford is still not back. It's been almost a week and she's still not back. I already did my video on this, but I just want to be really clear. Y'all are playing games. If Mel is not gonna come back, then just fucking say that. I told y'all I've unsubscribed to the Patreon, so I don't really know what the fuck be going on, but I know somebody says she's still not back. My thing is either address it. What did Monique say? Either say the names or leave it on our playground, Lenard. Like, either address the fact that she's coming back or she's not. Nobody got time to be sitting around here playing these fucking reindeer games. Now, I keep going back to Mel's Instagram because trust me, I'm pretty sure Mel, every time I go back there, it still says on her bio, co-host of the Joe Budden podcast. And Mel is real petty. If she wasn't on the show, I think she would have removed that by now. So either A, she's suspended, you know, B, she wanted to take time off. But what I will say, I want to be very clear. I'm not on Patreon anymore, so I don't see the in-between episodes. I only see clips. But I want to be clear. Mel's presence is missed. You can feel like there is something that's... I've been saying this for a while, that the podcast as a whole it's been nosediving. Like, it did a little pickup when Mark came on, right? So it did when Mark came up, but now it feels like it's going back in the direction that it was before Mark came, which is like back down into a nosedive a little bit in like content and quality. And I feel like Mel being gone is like making that so like obvious. Like, I don't understand how y'all can see this last week or so with Mel not being there and not like feel that her energy is missed. Like, that woman is missed and her energy is needed on that show. And I think even the JBT community has showed like the engagement has been up ever since Mel left, because where the fuck is Mel? And Mel is missed. She really is. So that's that on that. Then we move on to Ice Spice and Latto. So literally out of nowhere 2 days ago, all of the like outlets start posting this picture of Ice Spice and Latto with this thing behind them, and they're like in a ring, and it's called Gyatt. And at first I'm like, is this AI? Is this AI? Because we all know that Ice Spice and Latto didn't get along. But then no, Latto reposted it and Ice Spice reposted it. So my first thing was like, I was like, you want to know what? They finally was able to realize that pink lady was the issue. Now remember, see, I'm so glad that I do YouTube. I'm so glad because I can now have a recorded history of things that I said was going to happen that happened. If you go all the way back in my videos, right, you'll see that I addressed when Nikki and Ice Spice was quote unquote like supposed to be trying to be signed or whatever. I talked about that whole thing and how I was like, well, I hope that this actually lasts and Nikki doesn't fall out with Ice Spice. And then we move forward, and what happens? They fall out. I did a whole video about that whole thing and how Ice Spice's best friend had like dropped all of the text messages between them two, where Ice Spice was talking about Nikki and how they had a falling out. And I also talked about in another video how Ice Spice versus Latto, and how it's literally just because Nikki has a problem with Latto, so that means that Ice Spice has to have a problem with Latto. And yeah, so now here we are. So now that Ice Spice and Nicholas no longer get along, guess who can do music together? Guess who can work together? Guess who can be the two light-skinned rapping baddies? Yeah. You see how that works? That's crazy. I listened to the song. The song is cute. I actually really like Ice Spice's verse. I thought she did a good job. I liked the video. Y'all know I'm back into wrestling, so I really thought the video was really, really cute. I know they went on Kai Cenat's stream, you know, to do what they do or whatever. But yeah, it's just two light-skinned baddies. Like, we love it. We love to see it. Y'all tried to make them two not get along, which they did for a little bit, but now they're cool. Y'all tried to make Glorilla and Sexy Red not get along, but them bitches paid y'all dust, and them two is cool. I love it. But I would also like to point out, that again, all of the girlies get along except one person. Everybody on this side gets along. And y'all keep trying to make Cardi and Meg a thing, and both of them keep shutting that down expeditiously. They both shut that down real easily. Y'all not going to do with this crop of girls what y'all did with Nikki and the rest of them. It's not gonna happen. And it makes me really sad, because it's really like, you ain't even cool with JT no more, bruh. Like, JT and Glow are cool now. I forgot about that. JT and Glorilla are now cool again. All the girls, except I think like, I don't know if Cardi and, hold on y'all. Stop it! Sorry, I hate like hearing dogs lick. It gets on my nerves. But yeah, like I'm happy. Like all of the girls are getting along, and it's like, Nikki, you just over here on this island by yourself. Cause who do you get along with? That's a rap girly. Who? I guess somewhat with Sexy Red, but like, you know, y'all just did that song. Like, it's unfortunate. But all of that to say is I'm glad to see the rap girlies get along. So I will be doing another video too where I'm gonna talk about the ladies' night tour that I would like to envision, you know, now that the girlies are getting along. Anyway, moving on. VMAs. You know, I could give two flying shits about the VMAs. The last VMAs I gave a fuck about was the one that Beyonce was on, and that's when she did was it the Lemonade medley that same year? Mind you, that 10 years ago was the last time I cared, because that's when she did the Lemonade medley. That's when Rihanna got her her award or whatever, her icon award. That's the last time I gave a shit. Now I've watched almost every year since, but nothing stands out. So here's the problem. I might need to do a separate video on this. I think I might do a separate video on the VMAs and just music and like music videos, because I really want to do a nice little thing about like the whole music video era and why it's not working and what we could do. But you know, the Video Music Awards, that's what it's called, the Video Music Awards. The issue with that today is, number one, it's not that people don't do music videos anymore. It's just the way that we consume things are very different. I also don't think that MTV, so here's the thing, this is the real problem. MTV doesn't have the stock that they used to, right? And not at all. If you really think about it, like a kid that would be like 15 years old now, right? Which would be technically, you know, MTV's like target demographic, somewhere in that range, right? From 2010, right? They would have been born in 2010, meaning they probably would have only started paying attention to MTV maybe like 5 years ago, and during that time it's the ridiculous, like they're doing what they do now, which is just nothing but ridiculousness and nothing really in between. Maybe a Teen Mom here, maybe a Jersey Shore here. The challenge is actually what's keeping MTV a fucking float, and that's mostly from OGs like me who've been watching the fuck forever. That's why Johnny and them can't retire, because we the ones upholding that shit. You want to know why? Like, let's really talk about that. Like, oh, I could go on a whole tangent. The MTV as a station don't hold stock with teenagers, young adults, nobody, because they don't know MTV to be a music channel. What about MTV gives a music channel? Unless you have like them cable things, you know, the MTV hits, which that doesn't even matter to kids today because they have the internet. And MTV has done a terrible job. I mean a fucking terrible job of moving with the times to make sure that music is still at the core, because the reason why back in the day people gave a shit about the VMAs is because MTV was a very big hub for music videos and artists and just everything within music, period. Who the fuck goes to MTV for anything that's connected to music today outside of the VMAs? Nobody does. Y'all tried to bring back TRL with DC Young Fly. I don't know what the hell happened to that. I don't even know, where was it located? Was it online? Was it not online? Like, don't really know what happened with that. Seems to me like that flopped really, really fucking badly. You guys bringing back one thing, trying to bring back TRL. One damn show. Now granted, that was a very much so flagship show for y'all, but for y'all to try to only bring just like back that and not anything else in support of like music overall to the music television freaking channel is ridiculous. It needs to be tore down from tear it all down, tear it from the root up and start again. If MTV was able to create a platform that's based on and around music the way that they used to be. I understand that, and I know people say all the time, like I just said, that music videos, like people, we don't consume it the same way because we have YouTube and we have this. But that's when it's called being creative. It's like instead of MTV trying to be creative on how they can move with the times with having music television programming, they just said, fuck it. The kids ain't watching music TV no more. We're just done. Let's just throw on ridiculousness and have that rotate for the next 15 damn hours. Because nobody's watching linear cable anymore. So let's just make it that, and like, let's not do nothing else. Okay, sure, let's bring back, let's keep Teen Mom going so we can keep the millennials. Let's keep bringing back Jersey Shore so we can hold on to the millennials. Let's keep the challenge going so we can hold on to the millennials. Like, millennials is really what's upkeeping MTV, at least from a content standpoint. And you want to know why? That's based on 3 damn shows that we grew up on. 3 shows that we grew up on. But be clear, when I was a kid watching Jersey Shore and The Challenge and Teen Mom, it was other music programming in between there. All of that was mixed in. It wasn't just that. So again, go back to the drawing table. There are so many things that you guys can do. Bring back, I think that's, I was going to say making the music, but I think that's VH1 and them. Bitch, bring back Unplugged, okay? Like, y'all let Tiny Desk take y'all whole stilo. Y'all let Tiny Desk take y'all whole stilo. Bring back Unplugged. There's a way, I think there's a way to do, maybe not TRL in the same way that it is, but I think there's a way to do something that where like the people and the fans can be like live, you know what I mean? Like with, like engagement with the artists. I think there's a way to do that. We need to be doing something on music history. Like, kids don't even respect music or the people that came before them in the way that I feel like people my age do or did, because they're not being fed anything. Like, this is the thing. The internet is so vast and it's so much information. Sometimes you really don't know where to start. If somebody was to tell me, oh, here's everything about the history of music, go ahead and look, I would have no idea where to start. It's different documentaries that came out on MTV and VH1 and BET that helped me understand different, like I will even the real, like the true life kind of, like docs that they used to do. Like, one that really stands out to me is the singer Mario, like when he was really going through what he was going through with his mom, because that was a combination of him being a singer, but then also, going through some real life shit at the same time. That's something that really stuck out to me. Like, there's so many things that y'all could be doing. No, maybe y'all can't do MTV Cribs anymore, but why not? Why the fuck not? Why can't y'all do MTV Cribs no more? Why not? Like, there's so many things. And all of that to say is that the VMAs have been trash because y'all don't invest in the channel as far as music. Fuck y'all. Mariah Carey is getting a Vanguard Award, as she should. Ta, 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 ta. And then finally, we're going to talk about Drake, and I'm done. I don't really even know how much more I can or want to say in regard to this light-skinned Canadian and everything that surrounds him. So, the Iceman episode 3 came out yesterday. I just so happened to be on YouTube and seen it pop up. Went to go listen to, as soon as I clicked on it, like that first song, I think it's called That's Just How I Feel, that was playing. Really, really liked that. That was good. Then a few more songs played, whatever. I was kind of like in and out, whatever. I went baby, when the Somebody Loves Me remix started to play, when that man said, we out in Brooklyn turning up another night, I said, Brooklyn, New York City, stand the fuck up. That's exactly how I felt. I downloaded that immediately. But I think that's the only song that I'm seeing that he like actually dropped from that was that Somebody Loves Me remix with him, Cash Cobain, and P&D. But outside of that, I thought the songs was cool, whatever. I have purposefully, I told y'all this, since the daggone battle, I have purposefully disengaged with online chatter around Drake. I don't really keep up. I don't even keep up with the lawsuit. I don't care. Just give me the music and that's it. And so I was on TikTok, and the one guy I follow, HQK, whatever, like, he did like this like 7-minute video about how, I guess there's discourse, there was discourse around this last drop because there was some rumor going around that in this episode it was gonna be the red button, and it was underwhelming to some people, and oh well, Drake won't. I am so tired. Okay, first of all, I'm sitting here listening. I'm like, I didn't even hear any of that. I never heard nobody talk about no red button. See, and by the end of the video, I'm like, this is exactly why I don't even pay attention to this shit. This is where we are. Social media and like literally the opinions of others have warped people's minds so badly. So it makes it hard for like people, like, I feel like, that are chronically online to really like engage with music in a like authentic way, because people can say, oh, I don't care what nobody else thinks. I think that's a lie. You are influenced by the shit that people say, especially when you're consuming it so much. If you constantly see somebody say something is bad, something is bad, something is bad, subconsciously your ass will start to think that something is bad. So another reason too why I'm not even paying attention anymore is because it's like Beyonce. I promise you, it's like Beyonce. We go through the same thing every motherfucking time. This person is trash. This person is overrated. This person can't do this. This person can't do that. This person fell off. Nobody gives a fuck. They drop a single, everybody and their mama go listen, everybody go run it up. Oh, it's not good. Oh, it's not that. Oh, it's terrible. The song goes #1, or the song don't go #1, but the song is streamed very well, has millions and millions and hundreds of millions of streams, and then they drop the album. Oh my gosh, the album is so terrible. Oh my gosh, this, that. And then the person goes on tour, and the tour sells out, and then the album goes on to be multi-platinum, and then we just go into a circle again. This is exactly what's happening. We're going in a circle. What you guys are doing right now is what the fuck y'all did last year, right after the battle, right before Sexy Songs for You. He dropped It's Up. Y'all had a problem with that, but then Circadian Rhythm came out, which is a low-key hit. See, my flop and your flop is not the same. It's just not. So he put out the 3-pack. Oh, he fell off. Nobody gave a fuck. Da, 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 da. Put on Circadian Rhythm right now. Put on Circadian Rhythm right now. That nigga been performing that song all over Europe, and that shit's going the fuck up. But nobody gave a fuck, right? Then Sexy Songs for You was coming out, and then everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is such an important album, or we need to see exactly what the numbers are. I don't think he's gonna do that much. I don't think nobody's gonna care. Then the album comes out. The album does a little bit over 250,000 units. It did well, but the album is trash. There's nothing good on it. Give it a month later, Nokia becomes a #1 song. Somebody Loves You, who's damn near the song of the summer. Okay, Give Me a Hug is a stable hit. Like, the whole album, literally, Sexy Songs for You came out in February. That whole album is still knocking. A solid album. Probably, well, so far, Sexy Songs for You is my favorite album of the year. It's the only album outside of Cowboy Carter, which came out the year before, that I've been playing top to bottom. Big facts. And then, like I said, the album drops, and oh my gosh, like, so that's what y'all are doing now. It's not any different. That's why I'm not engaging, because y'all do the same shit every fucking time. Y'all do the same shit. His trash, his singles are trash, this is trash, nothing is catching, nothing is catching, nothing is catching. His fall off needs to be studied, his fall off needs to be studied. It's just like, bro, I'm no longer engaging with you niggas. Either like the music or don't. You either like the songs or you don't. Keep it the fuck moving. Really just that motherfucking simple. And for and the last thing I want to say too, outside, I'm going to move on to hip hop media part of it, but please stop saying, I just want Drake to rap. I am so tired of that for a few reasons. Number one, If it's not clear to you all by now that Drake is not going to just have an album where he's only rapping and nothing else, you're not paying attention. Number two, from the very beginning of Drake's career, go all the way back to the fucking not fall off. Sorry, go all the way back to damn it. To the fucking first album. Y'all know that album where he's standing there and it's the fall and all of the leaves is behind him. Go back to that. Go back to So Far Gone. Fuck it. Let's go to So Far Gone. Was Drake only rapping on So Far Gone? No. Rapping and singing. Rapping and melody. Was he only rapping on Thank Me Later? No. Rapping and melody. Was he only rapping on Take Care? No. So I'm so tired of y'all asking this nigga to do something that he's not even known for doing just because y'all want it. And number two, most importantly, for all the dogs to exist. Y'all want to act like it doesn't exist, but for all the dogs, the deluxe edition, it literally exists. And that's 7 songs of that man rapping, not singing, not harmonizing, straight rapping. And when it came out, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this is the type of shit that we talking about. This type of shit, yeah. This is what we like. And guess what? You niggas never played nothing from that shit again. So shut up. Y'all keep talking about what y'all want, then y'all get it and y'all do nothing with it. He gave y'all 7 tracks of him doing nothing but rapping and y'all did nothing with it. So I'm gonna go back to what I was doing, which is a combination of everything. And then very lastly, let's talk about the whole Drake won't sit with hip hop media. I look at it similar to how I did with the whole Meg won't sit with hip hop media. Why? It's like an entitlement to a degree. Like you niggas feel so entitled to people. It's absolutely ridiculous to me. Why? Outside of, and the only person, because I really thought about this hard, the only person that I could see Drake sitting with that would matter in hip-hop, that I think would be able to ask the questions but still make him feel comfortable, somebody that hasn't necessarily jumped out the window against, on him and is a consummate professional, is Angie Martinez. That's it. There is no other I'm talking about that would that has a real big platform. There's no other huge hip hop media platform that I can think of that did not clearly take a side from the very beginning, that did not very much so jump up and down on his grave, that has not been extremely critical post, before, and since, that will come off that don't come off like they're being biased towards one side. There's not that many people. Angie Martinez is the only person I can think of that Drake would be able to sit down from, from a hip hop side, that would make sense for him. Joe, that's never gonna happen, and we know why. Hot 97, never gonna happen, and we know why. Power 105, you guys couldn't even we already know, what? Outside of Angie, who else? You want him to sit down with Rap Latte? Come on. Who is he sitting down with? And Maul already came out and said he would never sit with him. And the reason why I don't think that would work is because y'all would just say that Maul is dick riding and not asking real questions. Who was he supposed to sit with? Now, in my opinion, the reason why I feel like Kendrick deserves a little bit more, I feel not animosity, but I feel like Kendrick should get the same, if not more, than Drake, is because all of y'all was on that nigga's side. So there shouldn't be anybody that Kendrick is afraid to sit with. He should be willing to sit with any of y'all because all of you niggas was on his side. But did he? No. And I know that, some people dragged him a little bit for that. But I just find that interesting. I think eventually he will sit down with somebody that's somewhat from that side, but it's going to be who he feels like. And most importantly, this is what I'm not understanding. Why would Drake talk to anybody right now when he's in the middle of a fucking, in a lawsuit? He's in the middle of litigation. Even if Drake was to right now sit down with somebody, the questions that y'all really have for him, how could he answer that without fucking up his case? How about we wait for whatever's going on between him and UMG to be done with? Because I think it makes way more sense. If I'm somebody that would want to talk to Drake, I would want to wait for all of this to go by. I want the lawsuit to be done. I want the album to be out before I sit down with him. Because right now, if you ask him anything about the lawsuit, what he's going to say, I can't because I'm still in court. And then y'all respond to that would be, well, then why sit down and do an interview? How about we be a little bit patient, wait at least at the bare minimum. Let's wait for the court case to be done and wait for the album to drop. And then let's start asking, oh, hey, it would be nice if he sat down with someone. But like somebody keeps saying time and time again, like, hip-hop media, when it comes to Drake, niggas is so fucking fickle because 1 week y'all are talking about this nigga's not hip-hop at all and he's not culture at all. But then y'all feel like he's obligated to sit down with somebody from hip-hop. Like, it don't, like, y'all really, I've been saying this forever. Y'all gotta pick a side of the fence. Either the nigga is hip-hop or he's not. It can't be he's not hip-hop because he told and he did this and he did that. But, oh, he's obligated to sit down with somebody in hip-hop media. No, if y'all don't, this is how I feel. If I'm Drake, this is how I would handle it. You niggas said y'all don't want me, I'm gone. Y'all don't want me in hip-hop anymore. Nothing that I do is gonna be enough for you niggas. No matter how much I rap, no matter how much I give reverence to the people before me, no matter how many people I put on, no matter whatever I do, I'm not enough for y'all. So I'm not hip hop, cool. So I'm just gonna go over to the pop side then, since y'all claim I'm not hip hop. Y'all can't have it both ways. Which one? What do y'all want? The same way I keep saying, y'all keep saying how terrible. And again, it's not to point out Rap Latte because I really do like them and I'm subscribed, but they in particular, especially Torre, irks me because you claim how much this nigga's not rap and how much he's not hip hop, but then you literally do nothing but cover him on your rap platform. Don't talk about this nigga then. I didn't agree with that person who was like, oh, well, we're gonna do a blackout over here, but I kind of do agree now that I think about it. If you really feel like Drake is not for the culture and he's tarnishing hip hop and he's tarnishing rap, then stop talking about him and stop platforming him. And platform the people that you feel like are those things. But you guys aren't. Because you know that he is and you know that's where the bag is. But that's it. I ran my mouth for an hour. I'm out of here. Bye.